to LCR. LCR.
All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Tea Time Talk. As usual, this is the radio show where we talk about things that have happened in the week and things that interest us for the second half. As usual, I am your host, Fritz. I am joined by my fellow crew members, which I will introduce in a bit. But just a few backup checks, random information pieces to go through before we start the show. First of all, any opinion that is discussed in the show is that of ours. It doesn't reflect the radio show or the university. That's just how we feel about certain topics, so we have to put that out there in case something's a bit controversial. If you want to tweet at us, you could, if you want to engage in the conversation, you could use the hashtag LCRTT Talk. That's it. Hashtag LCRTT Talk. If you want to tweet at us, we have a Twitter wall open and ready. If you want to post your own comments about what we're saying in the show, or if you want to pose questions to the team, you're more than welcome to do that. So let me begin by introducing the crew. So I am joined by my usual guest, Nezar.
Hi, thanks for having me on again.
And I'm joined by Reuben.
Hello. Hang on. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Is it? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
There we go.
And
there we go.
we have a very special guest today. We have our boy Matt.
Hey, very special is the biggest joke that has ever been. Oh, he's hit me in the face with the mic, but
Oh.
yeah, I'm
Let's-
pleased to be here.
Let's pressure him to stay.
Yes.
Oh no, I'd love to do it more. I was subtly hinting
Stay
to Fritz that I
forever.
wanted to do it.
So welcome to you all. Thank you again for coming back on the show again. Hope you're going to have a good time.
Yep, it's going to be good. Let's have fun.
Yeah?
We now have 4 people again doing the show, so let's hear their opinions through and through. Right, so what's happened in the news, gentlemen? Tell me.
Things.
Things.
And
Lots
stuff.
of things and stuff.
Who wants to start us off? Nezar?
No.
Not today.
Reuben?
Not today.
Matt?
No, I feel like since I'm going last, I kind of have to now because there's no alternative, is there now? Shall we start with Donald Trump and the Britain First stuff?
Coolio, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Do you
I'll
have
lead it.
do you have a backstory to this? or-
Videos were shared by Donald Trump this week that were originally posted by one of the Britain First leaders. They were allegedly showing attacks on people by Muslims, but there's no proof that that was true at all. And of course, there's serious ramifications for the fact that he's sharing them at all.
Right.
Take that on, if you will.
So what are your opinions on this then? What are we thinking here? So obviously there's been a backlash against it. Theresa May tried to call out Trump, and then Trump recalled out Theresa May, telling her to focus on her own shenanigans. Fair point. But what else? So we've had, again, one of the videos that was tweeted was from the Netherlands of a Dutch citizen. Well, the Britain First assumed it was a Muslim person attacking a Dutch citizen, but the person that was attacking was a Dutch citizen attacking another Dutch citizen, and there's a whole variety of information problems and issues. There's a lot of these videos have more context and subtext to them rather than just being a Muslim person attacking someone. It's not just that. There's conflicts and wars and a lot of stuff.
Well, why was the rumor that it was a Muslim attacking in the first place?
Because it was tweeted by Britain First, which is obviously advocating, they're 100% against Muslims. They want to ban Islam in the UK,
Yeah.
and they're strongly against immigration.
Yeah.
So them tweeting out a video like that, or maybe they had like a line that said, "Oh, look at the savagery of whatever they believe in their own countries," or something like that. But I want to know what your opinions on this is. So what do you think of this? Do you think Trump has gone too far this time?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd say so. Stuff like that. We know about what Trump's done in the past, what he's said in the past,
Yeah.
and he's been clear in the past about his opinions on Muslims and Islam. Like, this isn't the first time he's spoken up about it, but now it's probably worse since you are the president of the United States.
Right.
I think the stuff he's been tweeting, and especially because I guess it's hard. It's okay. The way to explain this is because we're in a situation, especially in America, where they're kind of in a situation where there's a lot of terrorist attacks, and that's been happening over the past few years. And the first ones that are always, ever since 2001, Arabs, and by subsequent Muslims. So there is a lot of like disliking for that in general, but like it shouldn't. I think when it comes from the leader of your country, the president of the United States, that's different from like the public or like somebody having an opinion on that. That's what I'd say. Because the president should be, like, he should be speaking for your country, but he shouldn't be putting his own personal biases out there, his own personal beliefs out there. And in general, from a subjective opinion, just from my opinion alone, I think what he's been saying just about Islam in general it's wrong. I don't think it's good to be saying anything about any race or beliefs or religion. So, like, it's not appropriate, that what he's saying at all, I'd say.
I brought up the tweet that he actually tweeted just to get some more context of it. So he retweeted. So what the person said, Jada Franson, who's I think the co-runner of Britain First, she tweeted 3 videos, and the 3 videos that Donald Trump retweeted have in the title video, Muslim migrant beats up Dutch boy on crutches. That's one of them. Second one, Muslim destroys a statue of Virgin Mary. Second one. And third one, Islamist mob pushes teenage boy off roof and beats him to death. So you can see why everyone is assuming that this is all about Muslims more than it is about just retweeting something that he agreed with. So there's some context. So you've said that obviously this shouldn't be done because he's the president of the United States. He's representing as representative of his people. Yeah. And so he shouldn't have that kind of shouldn't do that.
Yeah, from my perspective, if I see the president of the United States disliking on these groups of people, Islam as a whole, then I'm gonna assume, if from an outsider's perspective, he's representing America. Like, that's why can't I assume that a lot of the other Americans think the same way?
But we have to remember that there's a lot of mixed stuff surrounding Trump's candidacy or him as president. He might be the president, but he doesn't necessarily represent all of the people.
Sure. That's I'm not saying that, but there is. I mean, he was put on in the first place. There's a lot of people that support him, and like, we can't dance around the object. We can't dance around the issue. There's going to be a lot of people who are okay with what he's doing. Yeah, that's just how it's going to be in any country, in any situation. There's going to be a group of people who think it's right and think it's wrong, and I find the fact that there's people who think that it's right to label like that and be like, oh yeah, like, he's retweeting a lot of stuff just to make a lot of Muslims look bad. That's just wrong altogether, and I can't see like why people would be okay with him doing something like that. It's just my opinion, though.
Let me play evil's advocate here. So let's say there's a situation where there is someone who does something bad. Is he because he's the president of the United States? Should he not retweet it to raise awareness of that issue? So let's say something happens in America. I'm not gonna say. It depends. Gun shooting, terrorist attack, whatever. Yeah. Because he is the president of the United States, because he has that responsibility to acknowledge issues that are a threat towards his country, a threat towards his people, should he not retweet about that? I'm not saying this. I'm not saying it has to be Muslim specific. I'm not saying it can be anyone. It could be a person walking in and shooting. So should he just not have that right to tweet about anything?
I guess that's taking a different spin on it. Yeah. That is a good point.
Matt, what do you think? Matt's seeming very happy here.
No, not happy. Happy is the wrong word, but it's interesting is the White House press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Yep. Her response to it was she defended him because that's her job to defend him to the press. But her response was, it doesn't matter if the content of the videos were true because the threat is real.
Right.
So what she's literally said then. So the fake threat in the video is a very real threat. It's the irony that the president was spreading fake news, but it's
oh dear.
It's true. But yeah, it's just that's the worrying thing. Like the importance isn't on the truth content in what's been posted. It's the fact that people believe the threat is real. It's the perception of the threat.
Yeah.
So, and like Nezar said, people are going to support it because they do, especially like I feel in a social media age, it like every issue gets oversimplified, and then it's so divisive that
there's no context to anything.
No
like,
context
in terms
whatsoever.
of news at all. It's just like, here's the bare bones view of it. Here's the video, and it's like, okay. Well, I mean. One thing is like, yeah, that's true. Maybe our content, maybe it's exactly as the video says in the context, and they were doing that. They're not a representation of a big group of people. Do you know what I mean? People do things that's down to the person. They don't represent the large majority of people in that same group. That's silly to think like that, and I feel like that's what Trump wants to get across. But then again, to feel like people should be surprised about what Trump's retweeting, he's been clear about his Islamophobia before. Like he's shown that before. It's nothing new, except now he's the president while he's doing it.
What do you think, Reuben?
I kind of agree with I do actually agree with all the points previously mentioned, and I also do think that I would say that in regards to Trump's tweets, I would say that obviously when you raise the point of inland, like if it's anything happening in America, and like as you said, if there were any shootings, Trump should be there to support his country and should be there to say condolences, like how they usually do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this kind of stuff, I believe like if you are going to say something, check your facts first. Like make sure you have the full understanding and the full concept. Otherwise, you're spreading, as we said, spreading fake news, which is hilarious, ironic, and funny.
Well, it's like you said. Then it's the president's job to denounce anything, like to come to the defense of the people, of the victims in anything, and to denounce the perpetrators. But then, if you look back at Charlottesville with the white supremacist rally earlier in the year, like the people who were protesting against the white supremacists, some of them died by getting hit by a car, but he didn't. He defended the actions of the perpetrators.
Of course he didn't. His biases are so clear.
So we can't expect him to do anything rational.
True.
And I feel like he's allowed, because this is the standard that he's set. He's being allowed to get away with stuff that previous presidents would never be. Like some of them would have been gone by now.
Yeah. This is it's weird how much he gets away with.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but clearly he's doing something right.
Yeah.
Well, he's very outspoken. He speaks what's on his mind, and a lot of people respect that he speaks that. A lot of people hate it, and a lot of people don't think that's how he should be. But he's someone who's not afraid to say what he wants to say, and because of that I don't know how to explain it. It's just his behavior.
At base value, that is a trait to be admired. That you could just speak, just say what you say, but it's just the way he goes about it. Because you look at somebody like Jeremy Corbyn, he says what he wants to, and he's very outspoken. That's why a lot of people don't like him. But it's not to the same extreme level as a President Trump.
What I argue is that because he's a president, he has to be very, very. He's allowed to be outspoken, but he has to be careful with what he does when it comes to retweeting such things, because of the nuances, because of the amount of issues and just the complexities of everything. He shouldn't. It's not something that you can put down in a Twitter page or on how many ever characters, 200 or something odd characters. It's you're in a role of responsibility. You're one of the most powerful people on the planet,
and influential.
And most influential. You have thousands of people looking up at you, thousands of people looking down at you. You have millions, if not billions, of people acknowledging your existence. What would it hurt so much to just take that extra little care to ensure that everything that you do post actually has some factual evidence or actually has proof behind it before you post it?
Yeah.
That's the way he should. He can say whatever. He can be outspoken.
I mean, yeah, obviously people do have biases, don't they? They do have their natural, like some people will go left, some people will go right. But that thing, oh, hello, sorry. Yeah, as I said, people have biases. People will go left, people will go right in terms of right wing, left wing. And that's understandable. We all have our own personalities and own things what we would like. But when you're in a position like that, you have to keep these things in check. Otherwise, you're going to start influencing the country or even having a backlash. Like if some things he'll say will inevitably have some form of backlash, have some knock-on effect. So he really has to be careful with what he does. Otherwise,
What do you think about his response to Theresa May, telling her to mind her own business?
It's rich, innit?
I think it's weird that he would do something like that, considering basically how we're allies at the moment. That he would just be like, yeah, go away. Are you trying to sour something? Are you trying to sour one of the few countries that will actually maybe not this specific situation, but will support you in more different situations? It's weird that he'd sour on someone like that.
But again, playing the evil advocate, would you not agree that he has a point to an extent?
Oh no, yeah.
When the UK is already facing its own sort of terror crisis, it's already about to be ejected from Europol, which is the European Union's defense body.
Okay, hold on. Let me just step in, not to be rude, but
No, fine, go on.
if he wants to get his opinion out there on social media, then anyone can speak about it. It's social media. It's not something that's taken so much time out of her day. She looks at it and she goes, "Well, I don't agree."
Right.
Like he's put it on social media, and he's put his opinion out there. He has the right to get criticised for it by
Absolutely,
anyone.
yeah.
Of course, definitely.
And
Sorry to interrupt you there.
No,
That's
that's
just,
fine. That's fine.
Just triggered. I just got to be, man.
Oh no, we've got Nezar rants now.
And the thing is, like, he greatly exaggerates the situation. He greatly exaggerates the issues in Britain while massively playing down what's going on in America. Like, I mean, there have been a large amount of attacks in Britain in the last 2 years, but at the same time, in the last year alone, look at the amount of mass shootings that have happened in America. Like, he's so ready to focus on other countries as a way of deflecting from the issues he faces that he is completely inept to deal with. Because we have to remember, like, he struggles to get anything through the litigation system in America because he didn't have the popular vote from the people. But it's not even that. He didn't have popular support from the politicians because he spent his entire campaign denouncing every single one of them, no matter what party they were.
Right.
And I've forgotten what my point was originally. What I was saying, he was so ready to focus on other countries because he has serious limitations in America and serious issues to deal with.
So.
Also we're thinking of him as someone who has any sense of self-control, which he clearly doesn't. Like, let's go back to the coffee fee thing from months ago. No, the president of the United States should not be at 2 a.m. tweeting something, forgetting what he was saying halfway, type a random fake word, and then go and sleep. Like, this is not a man who knows what he's doing.
If he has something important to say, then he has something important to say.
But it's like he does everything on impulse.
Now, I'm not defending Trump on any accord, by the way. I don't agree with this person, but I'm just I'm trying to get to the nitty-gritty of the arguments here. I'm trying to see what you people think of this issue en general.
I mean, I honestly find it weird that anyone would defend it, to be honest, and hopefully I don't run into that person. It seems like a really weird thing to defend if even Theresa May is kind of all right, calm down there, mate.
That's interesting. What would you say if you met Donald Trump?
If I met him in real life, I probably
Bye-bye.
and there was no consequences.
Well, I mean,
that's what I'm saying though, because if I met him in real life, I probably wouldn't talk to him.
Okay, let's say on a
probably
scale
walk past and be like, ugh.
What if there's a scale of no consequences? Let's say there's no consequences.
What would I say to Donald Trump?
Keep it clean. We're on the radio.
That's hard. I could say loads.
Well,
of
what
stuff.
could you say? Is the thing.
That's the thing.
Because there's so much you would want to say about how a person's doing something, but you can't put it all into words.
And it's like if you're trying, go on, Reuben.
No, you first.
Yeah, so if you're trying to say anything rationally to him, you try and point out what he's doing wrong. He just denounces it, doesn't he? That's what he does. Yeah, it's fake news. So there's nothing you can say because he's so single-minded in his views and his actions that it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant what you can say to him.
Yeah. I would say I definitely take on to. I would say I agree with Matt on that point, but I would try and say Twitter's not your sounding board. It's I mean, as soon as you start putting things on Twitter, it's just expect to get harassed and annoyed and people to disagree with you.
If I could say one thing, I'd probably just say he's out of touch with the world and that he's really just not right as a leader for the modern day. I'd say don't call me age biased, but he really is way too old to be leading that country.
So the most social media savvy president we've ever had is too out of touch.
Pretty much, yeah. Do you think he actually went out of his way and went oh, Twitter? Somebody probably told him about it and said, hey, you can get your opinions out on this. So he's
You'd never love that.
He probably saw a market in there. He probably saw something.
Yeah,
there.
Exactly.
He saw advantage in using that because not a lot of former presidents use it. He doesn't even use the official president of the United States Twitter account. he uses his own and then tweets through that.
You know the fact that you brought up that he's the most like social on social media. That to me kind of proves that he's out of touch, because he wants to kind of be in like the situation where he's like, "Hey, look, I'm cool too."
It's like,
but
hey, fellow children.
That's just one of the reasons, though, because of course the other side of thing is as well. If you have to pull a press conference to say something every time, there's like several layers of information and several layers of people he has to go through before he can make a statement out to the public or say anything. So
clearly,
he's just
people,
bypassing.
yeah.
He's just bypassing that stage to get the message out, to say directly what is on his mind without being influenced by anyone below him.
Is he bypassing it, or maybe are people just okay with what he's saying?
I don't know. It's America. It's a very different country from us.
I say he's just bypassing it.
Yeah, I'd say bypassing too.
Like if he's got his own Twitter account, it would be. I don't think they have the power to influence what account he uses when he says these things.
Yeah.
So I say he just bypasses it. But I do feel that he needs to start using his proper channels, because obviously if he's using the side channel, right, he can say whatever he wants. He basically can say whatever he wants on this channel, and it's like, not necessarily clean, check through all the things, because since it's not been monitored, since it's not been like restricted, he can say whatever he wants without proof checking or checking his facts or just being 100% accurate before saying anything. He just says what's on his mind. It's very impulsive, as Matt said. So I do think that he needs to. I think they need to at least have an agreement of some sort when you're in that form of power.
Cool. Right. Shall we leave it there?
Yeah.
Move on to something else.
Sounds good.
So, what else is in the news? Something that keeps reoccurring in our news section. Actually, it's the lovely little country near Japan called North Korea, and they're back in the news again because they finally managed to make apparently an ICBM, an intercontinental ballistic missile, that can hit all of the world. Hit all of America, all of us. Everyone is in the danger
Well, they
zone.
said all of the world, so I'm kind of assuming, like, does it mean all of the world is in the big superpowers, or every country in the world?
Or does it mean all of the world that North Korea's internet has access to?
Yeah, like if they don't have the database on like anything, like their Wikipedia must be small.
There's only one Wikipedia page, and it's on Kim Jong-il. I'm not saying
then that means they'd launch it and it'd land back on North Korea. Where's the giant man's Lee?
So what do you think of this? So, okay, North Korea establishing itself as some form of a threat, and they're saying according to Russia, they're saying they're willing to talk to us. They're willing to talk if we acknowledge them as a nuclear nation now. Why did everyone suddenly go silent?
Oh no.
So what are the opinions?
I think we should be worried. Like, I don't know how. Well, I'm not so sure we should be worried about North Korea. I think we should be worried about other nuclear nations and their response. Because I was thinking about this on the walk over, and it's like go back to 1945. The world is 1945. Russia doesn't have the capability of nuclear weapons yet, but America does. There was serious conversation about should America preemptively attack the Soviet Union with nuclear weapons before they have the capability to do so themselves. If we put that same argument in the modern day, then the deadline for that decision to be made is approaching really quickly.
We've passed
maybe
that
even
deadline.
come and pass, yeah.
But it's passed. But it's allegedly passed. We don't know if it could be exaggerated, but it's
But you have to look at the geographical differences between Russia and North Korea. Russia is a massive, extends Europe and Asia. And you can hit multiple places in Russia, and it probably wouldn't affect any other country geographically. But if you look at North Korea, you have Japan to the east. Because are we doing it? Yeah. So we have to the east. We have South Korea to the south, and we have China to the north. China to the north. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's China to the north.
Yeah, to the north. Yeah.
So
west, isn't
it? Northwest. Say that.
So if you do launch a nuclear missile at North Korea, there is a lot of collateral damage that will happen to people that aren't necessarily a group of or a country that needs to be attacked. So there you go.
We're in a really scary situation where, if we compare it to the Cold War specifically, in the Cold War, people were publicly kind of prepared and they were kind of scaring you into something like that happening. But arguably, we're in a situation where nuclear threat might be more close now than it was in the Cold War, but the way the public reacts to it, like, we're not super being, like, warned about or anything. People just live their lives as it is, and I guess, I don't know, maybe people don't think it's going to happen, but maybe the mindset is if it happens, it happens. I don't know. But we're in a weirdly, like, I'd honestly say, in the situation we are in, and with all these countries getting nuclear weapons, like, what is the big difference between this and the Cold War was just two countries, and it was Russia and America. But the only difference now is that more countries have it. In terms of how close it is, it's relatively the same. Anyone could go at any time like that, and it only takes one.
All it takes is like one now. And see, here's the thing. Nowadays, it'd probably take less to trigger someone.
Yeah.
Like, all it takes is one dodgy Twitter. Matt, stop. Twitter post, and you know, the world will go. You know, nuclear fallout would occur.
We couldn't have picked a worse time.
It means that loads of people have nuclear weapons, and everyone's got an itchy trigger finger.
Yeah.
Especially with social media, especially with the internet, especially with everything as it is now. And I would say that I think the time for, I don't know, like, how would
the time for panic is now.
I wouldn't know. I mean, yes.
Is there any way we can turn off the air conditioning?
It is cold in here.
We'll try and do that during the break.
Yeah.
I think I'm eager to find out, do you guys think we're closer to nuclear war now than we were in, say, 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis?
I'd say so.
I mean, I guess so.
I mean, if you want bare facts about not as in like a lot of facts, but as in like that, the basic facts, like that the world was like 100 yards from a submarine. Well, yeah, from a cargo ship and a submarine crossing an embargo line. Are we within a theoretical 100 yards now?
I think with the people that we have in power to represent these super states, we have Kim Jong-il on one side, who wants to... Was Kim Jong-il or Kim Jong-un? Kim Jong-un on one side, who wants to display his power, that wants to show that he is a powerful entity, a force to be reckoned with. We have Trump on the other side, who we've already explained. We have Theresa May, who's back following Trump. We have France, Germany, everyone that wants to input in their own sort of issue. We have Russia saying, just leave them, just don't do anything. And again, it's the people who are representing, the people who are the leaders of this country. I think we're very close. I wouldn't say we're at that 100 yards mile yet. I'd say once we've witnessed someone actually die or someone actually get hurt that isn't North Korean because of this, because of these continuous launches, that's when we hit that milestone. Yeah. And that's when we know whether we will go into a nuclear war or whether we'll start talking about it.
I'd agree with that. I'd say in terms of practicality, obviously I'd say the 60s was probably closer, but in terms of who's in charge and what's going on, definitely closer now.
I would say also it takes, as I said previously, you know, with social media, it takes, as I said, it takes less. Yeah. So instead of like, you know, that 100-yard cross line, like now we can travel at faster speed, so it can go from 0 to 100
wow.
Just like that.
Yeah. Wow.
I think it's very telling as well that I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago Congress in America was discussing whether they should include more steps in the chain of command about launching nuclear weapons, just because they don't trust Donald Trump with it. And there was apparently in the reporting there was a lot of awkward laughter, but at the same time everyone was very aware that the threat was real.
Yeah, I'd say so. Honestly, I don't know. I don't. Do you think the country would let Trump go that far at that point? Surely there's somebody even bigger than that, like behind the scenes, that would be like, we're not letting you do this.
Well, you'd hope. Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State, he was a major or a general. He was very high up in the army, who behind Trump's back calls him a moron. So you'd hope that you hope that there's people like that who would because he's very high up. You'd hope that there's people like that who would step up and stop it.
Yeah, I think. I mean, then what's stopping North Korea then?
If the threat level is real, if there is if we receive a genuine missile clearance that there is nukes coming or something coming from North Korea, then again, I don't know what will happen. All I can say is that I'm pretty sure Trump will argue yes, that we need to either 1, shoot those missiles down or start shooting back, or 2, Trump will say yes, but the tide of Congress will just be like, nope, We won't do that because we don't know yet.
So
Yeah.
okay, hear me out. So was the original point that North Korea just wanted, right now, wants to be acknowledged as a nuclear state?
Well, they
That's
say
their
that
goal.
they say that they're open to discussion if we acknowledge them as a nuclear nation. I don't even know why they got into. Are you asking why they got developing nuclear weapons to begin with?
No. I'm asking, is that their goal at the moment?
Oh, that's their goal at the
They want to be
moment.
acknowledged. Okay, posing the question: you're the leader of America. To each of you, do you give in and say, yeah, just declare him as one, and that's that?
Okay, well, what would you guys do?
For the sake of keeping my country, if I was in charge, I would want to keep my country safe. That's my first and priority. That's what I need to do. And if they're gonna back off and be chill and not have any aggressive behaviors towards me if I declare them a nuclear country, then yes, I would.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, yes, we can try and be intimidating. Yes, we can try and be the bigger man. Like, you go, oh yeah, I'm all big and scary. But at the end of the day, it's not about our egos. It's about the people we're trying to protect. The point of the nuclear weapons is that we're trying to not fight each other ever again.
Yeah, it's used as a way
Although,
to stop
yes,
it.
I disagree that nuclear weapons have to be used. I'd rather we had like a much more diplomatic way of doing it, or at very least have like a 1v1 between Trump and Kim Jong-un.
Robot fight.
Fight.
Robot fight wars.
No, robot fight. Just a good old MMA fighting match.
MMA between. Have you seen what Trump has done in WWE? He will backhandle Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, but no, obviously it's a battle of like, yes, we're going to fight each other, but imagine how little fighting between other people there would be.
So they do a one-on-one on shipment on Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. They play an e-sport to do it. No, but yeah, as I said, I would love there to be a more peaceful solution. I would love there to get rid of nuclear weapons, because I think that'd be great, because I would reduce the risk of people getting hurt. But I do understand that nuclear weapons are sometimes used as a deterrent, but they shouldn't let their ego get to them. Otherwise, there's going to be war. There's going to be someone's going to get hurt. And I would say, yes, fine, you're a nuclear country, we respect you now, whatever.
I would too, and I definitely agree with that, because my thing is the priority should be keeping your people safe at first, and two, North Korea, they want this,
Yeah.
and at the same time you're like, okay, just play along, let them have it, then maybe they'll back down, because from their mindset they'll be like, yeah, we got a victory over America, and you're like, all right, cool, you can have that, just don't do anything again. But that could also make them demand more and more next time, so it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, if they start demanding stuff, then I guess then you just better start hoping that North Korea actually loves their children too. Because obviously there's a song by Sting, which was written during the Cold War period, and one of the lyrics, it was called Russians, and one of the lyrics is, I hope the Russians love their children too. I would say that statement for North Korea as well. If they're really serious about doing nuclear war, I hope they have the same understanding. They love their kids, they love their families, their own people, enough to realize that if they do this, not only they'll do damage to us, but they're going to lose everything.
Okay.
All that they've built is going to be gone. What
about Matt? What about you, Matt? What do you think? What would you do?
Well, the way I'm seeing it is North Korea's major beef is with South Korea. They want a united Korean nation under communist rule. So they're gonna. So if the world recognises them as a nuclear power, that's not going to stop them being aggressive towards South Korea. The only thing is, does America continue to support South Korea in that way? Because if they could say, like, if America were to say no, we're not going to continue to support South Korea, then maybe some of the aggression towards America would be lessened. But at the same time, you're leaving South Korea on its own in the defense against an aggressive state. But if you carry on supporting South Korea, then you have then you continue this animosity. That's
true. Yeah.
There's no way out of this. One way is peaceful for America, but extremely amoral. The other way is not peaceful for anyone, but moral.
Right.
Yeah, see, I totally forgot about the actual hostility towards South Korea. I totally forgot that that was the original.
Well, I'm sure you can
issue.
acknowledge them as a nuclear nation and still back South Korea, right?
Yeah, but if it doesn't matter if you're still back in South Korea, then there's still going to be
they're still going to be aggressive.
Yeah,
and you can't let them have that, because then you're just making the nation even more powerful than it is by letting them, it's a very difficult. It's actually borderline pretty scary situation at the moment.
I guess what I would do is, and as much as I don't like the UN, is there'd have to be. I wouldn't leave that decision to America alone.
No,
I
definitely
would.
not.
I would instigate. That would be a reason to call a world meeting with every single acknowledged state in the world. Have them invite North Korea to the table. That's the discussion. Is it okay for North Korea to be a nuclear state? Let North Korea voice their opinions. Let everyone else voice their opinions. No one attacks each other, and then we reach a conclusion after that. Because if this something as monumental as that needs to be taken very, very seriously, and that's not something one person should have power over.
Gosh,
it just wouldn't work.
No.
And I personally I wouldn't want to use the UN or the Security Council to do something like this, but that's the only organization with all of these members in the world enough to do that.
Yeah, it's good because that opens up a dialogue rather than because just threatening each other does nothing apart from increased tensions, doesn't it? Whereas if you actually start a conversation between nations, then there's a step in the right direction down that way.
Yeah. Right. Should we leave it there for that?
Sounds good.
Now that I'm thoroughly depressed.
Oh no.
What else have we got? Have we got the... Oh, Matt, you wanted to raise up something to do with... What was it again? It was to do with... I've completely forgotten. I can't remember what it was. You mentioned it.
Do you mean the Italian doctor?
No, it wasn't the Italian doctor. It was something that we spoke about last week, but you wanted to bring up again. Something that I can't remember.
I have literally no idea what you mean.
Neither
right
can
now.
I. It was in my head 30 seconds ago, and I cannot remember what it was anymore.
I remember we said we wanted to talk. Could possibly talk about net neutrality.
That's it. Net neutrality.
That was it.
Yeah.
Was that
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Right, Matt, do you want to bring us up to date on net neutrality?
Once again, I'm being touted as the expert on it, even though my knowledge is very basic.
Same.
I think the update on it is, I think the vote in America is December the 14th, but significantly, they've had a similar vote in India this last week, where they voted to keep net neutrality, and if anything, make the laws surrounding it stronger. And I don't know if that's going to make any bigger difference, but it's just the whole debate around net neutrality is so hypocritical of the Trump government in America, because his whole thing was, it was about bringing prosperity back to the American people, when going against the established institutions of big corporations and big government. But that's exactly what this is. It's the government passing laws that earn big businesses more money at the expense of the quality of product for the average citizen. But
now that we have Reuben and Matt here, so what do you think about this? Because me and Nezar had this discussion last week, and we had our discussions in regards to what we argued for net neutrality, or what we thought of it. But what do you think? What do you two think? So Reuben, what do you think of this?
Now I'll let Matt go first, actually, because I need a bit more refreshing up. I'm trying to remember this.
Thanks for that.
Anytime.
How do I feel about net neutrality? Yeah, well, I think it's only a good thing. I think the arguments against it are nearly always, you promote competition between businesses, but competition between businesses, when it's on that scale, is very damaging for the consumer. Especially as now they talk what it's going to look like is, and if it happens, is that internet's going to be broken up into packages based on what you use the most. Yep. And if you want to use a site that isn't backed by a certain service provider, then your speeds are going to be terrible, and it's ridiculous. There is very little logical thought to it, and that's why you see everyone whose working life revolves around the internet. Everyone in that situation is saying no, net neutrality is necessary. I spend 90% of my life watching YouTube. I don't think I've seen a single YouTuber who doesn't want net neutrality. It's because it's necessary for them, and the only people who it's not necessary for is the service providers themselves.
Of course, because they're making bank of this, aren't they? We already see, as I said last week, we're already seeing examples of this in Portugal, where if you want to have a music sort of If you want to focus on having access to music, they'll charge you something like €9.99. If you want to have access to video, that's a separate package. That's another $9.99. Welcome to EA, Internet Service Provider Edition.
You want this website? Pay our paywall.
Microtransactions, the Internet Service Provider.
Internet DLC.
Exactly.
Buy our DLC and access YouTube for a change.
Unlock Darth Vader.
It's just it's a terrible thing, and I'm surprised that this is an issue again, because it was an issue last year, and then they got rid of they said no last year, and then it comes up again and saying, oh, we're doing it because we don't want to regulate the internet. We believe that they can regulate themselves. No, they can't. You give them an inch, you give any company an inch, they will take the blooming mile.
They'll take a light year.
Not even the mile. They'll take the planet itself.
They'll
probably
take a light year,
dude. They'll take a light year.
I think it's because when in early stage capitalism was based around the ideas of small businesses, whereas late stage capitalism, what we're in now, is based around very big businesses. So the same logic doesn't apply because people have taken advantage of it. It's not fair competition anymore.
Right.
It's the ones that thrived early on have now gained monopolies where they can do whatever they want, and you see like an economic divide getting bigger, and it's now so much harder for anyone to like make anything of themselves in that kind of economy.
Nezar, do you want to put anything on that? Nezar swings back into the game.
Well, the whole how do you say it? What was it again?
Net neutrality.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything to be too worried about. I don't like it, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, hey.
Well, there have been posts on Reddit of people, of senators selling themselves out to telecommunication companies in order to vote against net neutrality.
Of course they do. It's political lobbying. That's what they do.
Send help.
Send information.
I mean, you're just making life more inconvenient for everyone.
Of course they are, but they're making money off it.
But you're making money off it. I guess to the most basic, like if you put everything to its most simple, like electricity at one point, if it wanted to, could have been free. But hey, we can make a buck off that.
They're going to start charging us for oxygen at some point. It's going to happen.
Are you breathing without our permission?
No, exactly. They will. They'll start charging us. They're already charging us for water. They're charging us for internet. They're charging us for electricity. Come the day when pollution is so bad, they're going to start charging us for oxygen. I've heard people say, oh, when pollution gets so bad, companies will try to innovate to use renewable energy sources. No, they won't. They'll start charging you to breathe oxygen. Heck, you'll get a health benefit plan that says included is about 5,000 kg of oxygen. Because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
You know it's going to happen.
I mean, if the net neutrality does go through, I do see that becoming a thing. If they start doing that, I can imagine it being very much. You want your clothes back here to pay? We charge you £5 to use your own wardrobe. It's like.
You want to look at your watch? That's another £5.
Yeah, they'll start getting ridiculous, and it'll just become pointless. But what I do think is that if they do this, there's going to be a massive backlash. People will start trying to bypass it because people always find a way. I've always learned that. People always think around it. If they want something really badly enough, they'll find another way of doing it.
Let's hope so.
Maybe, but the thing is that if they do, it's going to be way harder to track. Because what they'll do is they'll start using different frequencies. All you need to do is make a pirate internet, and that's it. You know how you have pirate radios when you operate on different frequencies.
Yeah. Right.
If you have your own concept on, let's say, they copy and paste all the internet pages and put them on a separate server of their own, then they can privately send these links out, and you have access to, all
the
sorts of
internet.
Content.
Well, it's just like the dark web then, isn't it?
It becomes exactly, and because these aren't monitored, you could put any old content on there, whether it be good or bad. And that's the thing, if the net neutrality, I don't believe it will go through, but if it does, I can see this becoming a thing.
Okay. All right. I guess we'll probably leave that there, unless you want to say something, Matt.
I'm just looking forward to the point of the future where we have future president Elon Musk.
Future president.
I thought it was going to be Kanye West.
No, it's going to be. It's going to be Dwayne the Rock Johnson, then Elon Musk, and he's going to provide free energy for everyone.
Why are you saying oh no?
No, Elon Musk I'll take.
When Dwayne the Rock Johnson becomes president, I'm moving to America, and I'm taking my sister with me. Let's go.
That sounds really weird without the context of the room, I feel.
And on that bombshell, we're gonna take a bit of a break. So we'll put on some music for you. One of these songs is Matt's new favorite track, so he'll get that surprise when we get to it.
If it's not
We are number one.
We'll find out. So we'll put some music on, and then we'll be back in a bit. So we'll see you later.
You're listening to LCR. LCR.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the radio show. We just had a wonderful rendition of "Man's Not Hot" sung by Matt in the studio. If you guessed, that is his favorite song at the moment
Of all time.
of all time. So you can imagine heads in hands and lost faith in humanities going across the entire room as Matt sings "Man's
Pretty
Not Hot."
much.
They just hate us because they hate us.
Would you like?
It was class.
Would you like to do a live rendition right now?
I don't think we have enough time for that. Please don't.
No,
do it.
you're right.
We'll do that for the last show of the year.
I'd do that.
Okay, for the last.
The last show of the year is a musical.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna have to kill myself in embarrassment afterwards. But
Oh, you won't have to kill yourself. Don't worry about that. I'm pretty sure there'll
Don't
be
do
hundreds
it.
of people
It's
out there.
not
that
good.
Right, so welcome to the second half of the show. Again, just to illustrate a few points, if you want to join the conversation or let us know anything that we talk about, you're more than welcome to use the hashtag LCRTTTalk. That is where you can engage with the conversation. Please do so if you want to let us know something funny, something weird, something strange, something new, something blue. The second half of the show is where we talk about things that are more interesting towards us. So it might be news stories, it might just be random shenanigans we've picked up during our life. I'll leave it over to you, peeps. What do you got?
Kebabs being banned
Okay, that's the end
in
of that.
Europe.
No!
Yeah, so basically in Europe there is current discussions about banning kebabs due to the amount of phosphates they have within the meat. So obviously it's harmful to human beings, and people. Europe is deciding to ban it. So
Well, no, they haven't decided yet.
they haven't decided. They're deciding.
Discuss.
So
I don't want to live in this planet anymore.
I would say that all they need, instead of banning it, why not just change the way you cook it, or you what ingredients you use?
Well, what if phosphate is an essential ingredient in keeping it healthy and keeping it,
Well, it's not keeping it healthy.
well, keeping the meat healthy. You know what I mean, like keeping it. So that
No,
it
I
doesn't-
think there's other ways of doing it. I think there's plenty of other ways of doing it.
Do you know any ways that you'd like to suggest to the audience?
I mean, like, I'm not a kebab expert. I've never cooked a kebab in my life, but I can guarantee you could probably put it in an oven and it would taste great.
Okay. Discuss. What do you think of this? This kebab bandage.
I'll just put it out there. I really don't like kebabs.
Boo!
I know, controversial statement in this room. But
You just got my radio show shut down.
And we've
But-
talked about like Brexit and stuff.
We've had
Yeah.
controversial stuff, but you saying that has officially got my radio show shut down.
That's the final straw.
Well,
but
thanks for that.
I'm gonna defend the rights of the. I was supposed to say the majority here. I was supposed to say the minority, but I'm definitely the majority. I mean, I'm definitely the minority in people who don't like kebabs.
I'm definitely the majority. I'm definitely the minority.
It'd be good if I could actually like choose my words before I tried to speak them.
Hey,
But, I feel like we shouldn't ban kebabs because
There's people who like it.
exactly. Like I mean,
there's people who love it.
it's individual choice. Like, it's like if people know the phosphates are in them and they're eating them anyway, like that's their right as a human being.
Okay. How about, so they warn you ahead of time that they're dangerous, that it's kind of harmful to eat, but they just keep it that way anyway, and you can still eat it, and they put tax on it.
Like smoking or drinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
But with kebab.
But with kebab.
Are you 21 plus? Now you can have kebab.
that extremely harmful.
You graduated
harmful
university, have kebab.
If it's harmful, like that harmful for you, then yeah, right? That you should be warned about eating it ahead of
Yeah.
time if it's going to remain in the country.
Yeah. Oh no, as I said, just change the standards. So you have a universal standard for all European countries where you change the recipe or the method of cooking. I'm not quite sure where the phosphates come from. If it's from ingredients, then I would recommend possibly just changing the ingredients so you have much more healthier, nicer ingredients. Or just change, if it's the method of cooking, just put it in the oven. Because currently their method of spinning it around may induce the phosphates, so all they need to do is put in an oven or use a different type of cooker.
I've got your actual.
Well, what do you mean by changing the ingredients?
I've got your actual article here. So what it actually does, what the phosphate does, is it keeps the kebab seasoned, meat It keeps the seasoned kebab moist and flavoursome. That's the word. One word I know. Moist.
Tasty.
Moist. Anyway, so that's what the phosphates
You're
do.
welcome.
Now, the
Moist.
The EU normally prohibits the use of phosphate additives in meat preparation where they're used to protect flavor and retain water, but there are exceptions. The law is currently silent on frozen kebab meat. So there you go. There's some information about what the phosphates does to the kebabium.
Frozen kebab meat isn't as good.
Oh no, here's the thing as well. Oh, sorry, let me get my headphones on.
Oh my gosh.
It's fine. I dropped a can, guys. It's fine. But no, basically, I would say, yeah, just change the ingredients. There's other ways of keeping it moist. There's other ways of keeping it delicious. All you need to do is just experiment a little bit. What? Why do you laugh? No, so yeah, basically you can like seal the meat, so you could cook the meat by like frying it lightly, and then you cook it properly, like in the oven. I mean, there's other ways. There's all sorts of ways of doing it.
You can't change the ingredients though.
No, you don't have to change the
Yeah,
ingredients.
I was gonna say because lamb is lamb, right?
Lamb is lamb, but obviously if they're using certain spices and obviously phosphates, you can just get rid of the phosphate, add,
Yeah,
surely
there's
stuff.
there's
There has to
probably
be other
there's a
ways.
different way. It's probably just more expensive.
Yeah,
That's how I picture
yeah.
it.
It'd probably be more expensive. Like it being a little more pricier in comparison to
Oh dear.
in comparison to being banned and not being able to cook it ever again, and that's your food. If you're a kebab shop and that's your income, being changing your ingredients is way less worse than actually being banned. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
So what would you do? So is that what you do then? To
Yeah, change the
ensure
ingredients. Easy.
the
There's
safety of kebab?
there's probably a better way to do it. It's probably just more expensive, and that's why they're not doing it
Yeah.
because they're takeaways. So
What do you think, Matt? Are you saying something?
I just realised why I don't like kebabs.
Why?
I didn't even realise they were lamb. I hate lamb with a passion.
No, you
God's
get.
sake.
Are you
Hey.
gonna keep digging the hole that is
No,
this
see,
radio show
Here's
already?
the thing. Lamb, like, there's lamb ones, there's
Yeah.
chicken ones, there's beef ones.
I think I've mostly only ever had lamb. Because I feel like a chicken one would be beautiful.
Get the chicken.
no,
Get the one with the chicken.
lamb's better than chicken.
No, yeah, but if he doesn't like lamb,
Lamb is vile.
just get the chicken. That's fine. Like, if you don't like lamb, just get the chicken. I know it hurts. I understand. I see your pain. I feel you.
I'm ruining friendships right now in this room.
No, it's fine. No, man, we all
If
good.
he wants chicken, why doesn't he just get shawarma?
You know, Matt
I mean,
earlier,
that's a better. I mean, I love shawarma.
Matt,
So why not?
Matt earlier established a North Korea and a South Korea between Matt and Nezar because Matt doesn't like Jaffa cakes either.
No, I
no,
don't
no,
like.
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
like.
it's-
Oh,
Jaffa cake.
wait,
Matt
you don't
loves-
like Jaffa
Matt loves
Yeah.
Jaffa
Oh, so
cakes.
you're the one who doesn't like Jaffa
Matt
cakes.
doesn't like kebab, and I like kebab, and I don't like Jaffa cakes, and he likes Jaffa cakes.
It's
So
just
like,
North and South Korea here.
Amazing suggestion. Let's make kebabs out of Jaffa cakes. That's the one.
I wish I could say it on that bombshell, but we still got another half an hour to go.
why is it so disgusting, man? Like, why do people like Jaffa cakes so much?
It's chocolate and orange and cake. What else do you want?
That's not a good combination.
Well, I mean, no, I would agree. It is.
No.
It was
Hey,
a
that's
delicious
pretty good.
combination.
I mean, no, to be fair, this is completely subjective.
Dark
Like,
chocolate spread
obviously,
into a orange.
genetics are different. Obviously, our taste buds are different. Maybe
Yeah.
Nezar, when me and Matt taste Jaffa cakes, it's like, this delicious treat.
Bada bing.
This is delicious sweet treat on a December afternoon. Whereas Nezar's like, ew.
Look, hear me out. I don't like a
like it.
specific treat. He doesn't like an entire animal and anything it's associated with.
Yeah, I like the animal. They're cute. I have them in the field behind my house, not my own field.
Look, no, what I mean
You have a
is,
field
no
behind
matter-
your house?
no
Oh my
matter-
gosh.
No, there is a field.
No matter what dish, he won't like it because it's lamb.
Hold
Think
on,
of
hold
the
on.
variety.
I'm trying to get over the
I
fact that
mean-
Matt has a field behind his house. So that's what's got
We
to
don't
be.
own it. But there is a field that's behind our house. Like it has lambs in it in the spring.
Anyway, Matt doesn't like
Aw,
kebabs.
Almost enough to make me want to turn a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost.
Genie Mac.
Wow.
I can't believe that happened.
This got off topic really quickly.
Yeah, it's went off topic.
That's the point of the chill
It's-
section.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the kebab thing is so subjective. It's barely. The only argument is like, oh, you like something different. Why?
How dare you?
It doesn't matter though, because as I said, it's so subjective, and each person has their own taste and flavor when it comes into regards of kebab or jaffa cakes or mushrooms. You know, it's all good. Hey.
Well,
okay,
let's end this.
stop.
No. I know what will end this discussion once and for all. Pineapple on pizza. Go.
What a sin would you have? Like, what kind of sinner would you have to be to want to eat pineapple on pizza?
To have your name named Reuben.
Oh,
like
no.
me. I love pineapple on pizza. I am a guy who wholeheartedly enjoys it.
You're combining fruit with savory.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's a sweet and savory treat.
It's a sweet and savory.
It's just the wrong consistency.
Yeah, it's
No,
really.
it's
It's like
fine.
some guy was just like, da da da.
No, it's
Look
better
what I
than,
made.
It's better than apple. Like that apple on pizza, that would be
I'd
bad.
rather eat apple on pizza.
Oh my
It'd
god.
be like a crumble, like a pizza.
Yeah, a crumbly
No,
pizza.
cheese and cheese and apple.
Cheese and pineapple. What's the? They're both bad.
What do you mean cheese?
Why does it have to be a fruit?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like the fruit
Okay.
is
Unless it's
necessary.
tomato, obviously.
This, okay, as I said, it's completely subjective. You guys are not enlightened yet, so it's fine. So don't worry about it.
I put you guys as not liking pineapple on pizza as just a bane of your ignorance.
No, I'm joking. No, it's fine. No, no, it's just a case of I would say I like pineapple on pizza. I would say it goes best well when you have jalapenos and pineapple on a pizza, because then you get sweet, spicy, and a little bit savory.
We're about to get shut down today. I feel it coming.
I mean, if people like,
Is there any other popular foods that one of us doesn't like and the other three does? We've been getting pretty consistent. We've
no,
not got
okay,
50-50
Okay,
yet.
I've got one more. There's one thing I despise, and that's baked beans.
That's weird.
That is weird. Not because baked beans are lovely necessarily,
Are you
just
just
really
insulting?
strange to dislike it.
Are
Yeah.
you just gonna insult England?
That's weird.
No, I just don't like baked beans.
What
I don't
about-
know. The beans themselves, when done by themselves, fine.
What did Heinz ever do to you?
They put the sauce on. The
You can't-
sauce is
can't-
bad.
You don't go up
I
to
don't like
Heinz
the
and ask
sauce.
them like how many different varieties of beans do they have, because you're not gonna get an answer.
I just don't like their sauce. That's it. That's all it is. The beans are fine. If you had the beans by yourself, totally fine. The sauce and the beans together, no.
Okay.
Fritz just referenced an excellent meme. I want people to realise how good that was.
I didn't realise it. What happened?
No, don't worry about it. We'll skip past that. We're beyond that now. We've established that Reuben doesn't like baked beans. That's what's important.
Yep. I don't like baked beans.
I
many-
don't love them. I just find it really strange.
How
to
many
dislike
rules of the
them.
Geneva Convention do you think we've broken by now by just stating out straight up food that people don't like?
know what?
Not enough.
20.
I'm going to hazard a guess. Probably none.
Yeah. Yeah. If we're being serious, no, none. But if we're being bantery, not enough.
All of them.
Not enough.
Every single one.
No, not enough. Not enough.
Must
We
be a
need to
crime
create
against
some to
humanity.
break them.
We have to make more.
Oh, cream eggs. There we go.
Oh, they're too sweet.
Yeah. Hold on. Yes. Wait. 1, 2, 3.
I've really
You love cream eggs, don't you?
I like
For
cream eggs.
once, I'm in the majority. Cream eggs are
No.
dirty.
They're too sweet. They're just like straight up
don't
diabetes.
mind them.
I put one.
Okay, no, I have seen some diabolical things done to cream eggs, which make them way too sweet. Like I remember a previous radio show, a host on this show
Uh-oh.
did something terrible to a cream egg, which
Oh,
would make you guys
no.
cringe.
He
dipped
dunked it in condensed milk.
That's disgusting. I want to die.
I have like two really sensitive teeth, and so that like the thought of like eating a cream egg in one go, like it makes me want to pull those teeth out.
Cream eggs genuinely just seem like the thing I would eat if I wanted to end it all. I'd just be like, okay, well, I want diabetes.
No, I mean you wouldn't eat like 6 in a row. You don't. That's not. I just.
You wouldn't eat one. You wouldn't even eat one.
One is like a quarter off your lifespan.
One is enough to give you your daily sugary intake. That's how.
That's
ham it is.
weird because every time I have this conversation with people, I'm in the minority.
No. There's the. No. Just okay. Fine. People. Me personally, I can't. I remember the first time I put a cream egg, the whole thing in my mouth, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I made a mistake today. I genuinely made a mistake.
Same.
First off,
My mouth was
not
like
the whole
glue.
thing. Never the whole thing.
Yeah.
Never. Like
Crazy.
why? Well, how do you do that?
Can you even name me the substance inside the egg?
Diabetes. Pure,
Sugar-
unadulterated
sugar.
diabetes.
Yeah.
They tried to reduce the sugariness of that, but I still don't trust it no more. No.
Are they? Oh, I might try it again then.
To be fair, someone like Amber would fully back up Reuben on this. She loves them.
I think most people do. I think we're
Yeah.
in the minority.
I think we've just got a
We've just got a good combination.
we just got a lot of people who don't like him in this room, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
It's not that I don't like him. It's just I look at one and I can't eat it.
Yeah.
I might have to like get a knife and like chop it into like little tiny pincy
no,
halves.
that's fine. No, that's genuinely fine. That's probably how I would do it if I had the time to actually be bothered to cut it.
Give me a knife and fork any day.
But
I'm
just
boy.
eat a bit of it. Just eat little bits.
It's like,
You shouldn't have to eat any food like that.
well, that's why.
No, you don't eat a whole chicken in one go.
You're one to talk, Reuben.
Hey, no,
Reuben.
I cut it up. It's just
I just eat really.
I
fast.
tell you something. I eat whenever me and Reuben go to dinner, and like because we live in we have a dining hall.
Yeah,
Whenever we go to
we're
eat,
all from the same dorm.
by the time I sit down to eat my food, Reuben's already finished his plate,
That's because usually Fritz turns up like 5 minutes late.
or because I get
Like when I go to get my drink.
yeah, but 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yeah, from the initial fight, like when I like take a minute to get my food, sit down, you know,
And eat
then-
it.
and then eat it, and then you're like 5 minutes in, and you're like, there you are.
You
and then,
Kirby your food. You suck that
okay,
food into
no,
your tummy.
not whole. I cut it up, then I eat it, and it's fine. You cut it up and eat it, it's fine.
He soup food.
Oh god,
It's just the pace is the.
It's just it's the pace that's
breaks the speed of sound.
traveling around. Yeah, okay, yeah.
That was a good conversation.
What else have we got?
Let's talk about Christmas.
Oh,
Before we do that,
No.
do you want to talk about EA again?
No, we've already talked enough about them. Let's not give them the
We have,
New
sunshine.
stuff.
we have 20 minutes.
Yeah, we have 20 minutes.
wanna
Okay,
talk about Christmas then?
what do you want to talk about EA? We
No,
can
it's just new
briefly-
stuff. They've put out another game that's just as microtransaction as Star Wars Battlefront.
I think we could-
UFC.
Yeah.
And it's pretty bad.
We could just.
It's worse.
It's worse.
I mean, we've already covered like microtransactions. in
We
the
have.
past,
Yeah, we've pretty done that.
It's just a daily EA update.
Fine, let's all briefly go over our opinions.
Well, this radio show is now being brought to you by EA, so you're gonna have to pay for the last 20 minutes.
Nice. We've been bought out.
In addition to your tuition fees, if you're a student, you will have to add an additional £100 to pay to listen to the end of this radio show.
Anytime we say hate EA, it's blocked out, and it's like we love EA.
My gosh. Yeah.
It's
Someone's
like
gonna-
clearly like a different person.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna cut that out. Like someone's gonna listen to the radio show, cut that clip out, and post it to you, just so you're aware that you said that.
We love EA. Oh no.
The thing is, the annoying thing about that is like the quality of the games are good. It's just the shady practices that surround them.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. There's so many bad practices, and because of those bad practices, it starts impacting on the game, and the game's it does have some quality to it, but now it's become, the quality's been lessened and cheapened due to the fact of.
I think like something like Battlefield 1 was an anomaly at how good it was, because then like the next like Battlefront 2, I know it's a different series, but it's still made by DICE. That comes out and that's still garbage. So it's like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, so like DICE, they've made great games in the past, but recently I'd say maybe since Battlefield 3, I want to go back as far as they've kind of been pretty on quality on games, and then like Battlefield 1 came out and that was a really good one, and you're like, this doesn't feel like an EA game at all. There was like, from my knowledge, I don't think there was many like microtransactions and stuff in that game. I'm not too sure, but it felt like when you bought it, you felt like you got a complete game, and when it was published by EA and developed by DICE, you're kind of like, huh, cool. And then there's back to just, business as usual.
All right, I'll go on.
No, that's perfect.
I'm going to bring something different up, so go on.
Yeah, well, it's like I have a throwback to the original Star Wars Battlefront 2, which wasn't EA.
Yeah.
It was Pandemic.
Yeah.
And that's probably my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, it's like when you buy that game, it's like just complete. It's
incredible.
all there. Yeah.
But then EA bought Pandemic, shut them down as a company, and then they're producing what they produce now. So it's just
Right.
what's happened to the world.
The last thing I want to mention, because this is actually quite big this week, was Bitcoin.
Oh,
Before we
God.
start talking about Christmas, that's just the last thing I want to do. But I found this article on Russia Today that says Bitcoin's pronounced as un-Islamic by Turkish religious authority. So Turkey says that people of the Islamic faith shouldn't trade in Bitcoin due to the lack of regulations and close connections to criminal activities. So first of all, what do you think of Bitcoin? Are you going to start dabbing in Bitcoin, or Like,
No.
no?
No.
You don't trust it? Or is it?
It's just like, first of all, it's shady, and second of all, there's very little application. Obviously, yes, it's like a good investment, I suppose. Like if you buy it, the price could go up, and you can make a lot of profit, and you can sell it off and get more money. But at the same time, yeah, it's shady. It's sort of like kind of gambly because you're putting money into it, and it could lessen in value, and that's money you lost, and for what? For nothing really. But yeah, first of all, due to its inconsistency, I wouldn't support it. But second of all, in terms of actual applications, is there anywhere in Loughborough I can actually spend Bitcoin?
There must be a few shops around.
Is there really?
There must be like one shop around.
Maybe it's the future.
One shop, just one shop.
One shop.
Why would they bother?
One shop does
I have
plenty.
pounds. I don't need Bitcoins.
Cool.
Well, if you're in a brutal accident and it was the only shop that sold bandages.
I was like, well,
then that shop has a very terrible business plan.
what was like Tesco's? Just go Tesco's there.
You can't crawl all the way there. You're bleeding
I'll
out.
try.
Okay,
Have you seen Reuben? He can probably crawl all the way to Leicester to get bandages if he needed to.
Yeah, I think so.
Reuben just did not know how to respond to that. His look on his face is like,
What?
okay.
He's not lying. Right.
So, should we talk about Kanishmas?
I don't know if that's different from Christmas, but yeah, go ahead. What is Kanishmas?
I want to talk about Kwanzaa.
No.
I want to talk about Thanksgiving.
Okay, so
Hanukkah.
it's December. We're finally here. The long build-up to Christmas is getting ever so close.
I would play the Vuvuzela, but I don't know where I can
So
find
basically, what I want to talk about is Christmas as a whole and kind of like the build-up to it, because I know there's a few of us here that aren't huge on this time of year.
It's me, by the way.
No, I think that's all. That's you three, right?
What?
Like, are you all not like big on like Christmas?
I'm not big on this sort of the whole, commodification of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not really big on many parts of it.
So let's talk about it. So, so Christmas, technically the build-up starts as early as before Halloween. Like
Yeah,
you'll see
it
stuff
is.
happening, and it doesn't end until like late January.
Yeah.
So like as a society, like why do you think that we dedicate 4 months a year just to Christmas?
Money.
Capitalism.
Companies like Moolah,
Straight up cash in your hand.
roasted nuts.
Call me.
What?
I might be a simple man, but I've always enjoyed the build up to Christmas. I think Christmas is one of my favorite times of the year. Not Christmas Day itself. Christmas Day sucks. It never lives up to the hype. But the build up to it.
Lives up to the hype.
Blame the advert. Blame
He's
the
so
advert.
true.
Blame the advertisement.
Because like, what do you do? I got presents. What are you gonna do for the rest of your day?
Eat.
But then
Eat the food.
When you open your last present, can you think of anything more depressing than the thought, this is my last present? I have to wait another 365 days.
Yeah,
for this.
it's
Well, it depends on when your birthday is. If your birthday is the next day.
my birthday is 2 days before.
So do you get two presents? Or?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. That's very careful. That's very important that you get two
Nice.
presents.
Yeah, it'd be easy just to be like, hey, combine them.
What if your parents just get you the same thing twice? You're like, you wanted this for Christmas, now you get two of them.
Here's a pair of underwear. Here's another pair of underwear.
Well, that entirely depends on what it is.
Also, when you get older, presents suck.
Yes,
it's
they
like,
do.
here's a razor.
To be fair, my appreciation for different types of presents has changed. Like, getting socks now, I fully rate it. When I was younger, hated it. Whereas any kind of clothing, I was like, well, this is.
Mate,
a
you can get a
present.
pack of like 5 from Primark.
Well, yeah, but I get like cool socks at Christmas and stuff like that.
Free socks. No,
Free
free
socks.
socks are very important.
And when it's midweek and you've run out of socks, that extra pack of socks can save your life, man.
And getting shower gel.
When do you ever run out of socks?
When
Well,
they start,
to be
when they
fair,
start generating holes in them.
The thing is, though, I never run out because if you look at my wardrobe, it's just all like the same design black socks. Like, I don't wear like fancy like this. These are the socks I wear all the time.
For those who can't see in the audience, he just showed us some black socks.
That's the only type. And when I go out and I buy socks, it's like, oh, more black socks. Nice. I don't get fancy with that kind of thing.
I want to get back to your point about the fact that presents have become less and less of a thing during Christmas now, because I have that as well.
Oh, hold on, wait. With age, though.
Yeah, with
that was
age,
my
with age,
point.
yeah, with age. So again, when you used to be a child, presents were the main key thing. You opened
Yeah.
a present, you got like, I don't know, an Optimus Prime toy, or you got whatever you want, an
yeah, a
Xbox or
toy,
something.
a thing, a
A
physical
technological object that you can mess about with,
Yeah.
something like that. But now it's just like, no, I don't really care about that. Are you Santa? But now you get like
You could use it for fuel.
I honestly care less about the presents. I just want to spend time with my family, to be honest.
Yeah,
That's
same.
what Christmas
No,
is.
same,
Christmas
yeah.
is
Not according to the adverts.
Well, I mean,
No.
for me, when you get older, I think that Christmas becomes a family time.
Yes.
For me, mostly, in my opinion, Christmas is mostly aimed towards kids. But as you get older, you like people they that live in other countries will come home during Christmas to see their families. And that's why I like it. I think that as cheesy as it sounds, there is still some like spirit in Christmas, like seeing the family and
It's
stuff
the best
like that.
time of year. Stay inside with your family. Have a nice meal. Talk about what's happened in your life. Enjoy yourself. Chill out. Be responsible.
And that's why I like Christmas, at least the build up to it, because it's such a very nice time of year for me personally.
Is that I'm gonna ruin the wholesome vibe now.
Here we go.
Everyone's like, oh yeah, Christmas, really nice time to spend with your family. I think one of the things I enjoy the most is the amount of legitimate drinking time you can have. Like over Christmas, like it's a non-stop free for all.
That applies to none of us here.
Exactly. You're the only
I'm the only one who drinks.
You are the
like,
only person in this room
Sorry,
who
Matt.
consumes alcohol. Deal with it. Welcome to this radio show.
And I probably do, at Christmas I do
Sorry,
enough
mate.
for all three of these people as well.
You drink more than enough for all of us.
Yeah.
How often?
three
How,
of us,
how,
then.
how often do you drink, Matt?
Every day, bro.
It's every in a normal week. Well, we go Weatherspoons do the pub quiz on a Thursday, so probably normally like one night a week, and that's like 4 or 5 pints.
That's pretty good.
It's not, yeah, it's not like excessive, but like. you're
I'm
like,
surprised you can hold your alcohol.
yeah.
What's the Loughborough average of alcohol consumption here?
oh, what for the entire uni?
Probably.
Probably quite high.
Yeah.
But then like,
Probably really
But then like as Fritz and Reuben know, like from high tables last week.
Man got wasted.
It was
A whole bottle of... No, half a bottle of Chardonnay, wasn't it?
no, it was a bottle and a half of white, 2 glasses of red, and 3 glasses of Bucks Fizz, because it was free and. That's
And
the
yet I'm
important
the one who
thing.
ended up with alcohol in my trousers.
I was too tired to attend that. So.
I knocked a glass over trying to catch a piece of paper that was attempted to be stuck to my head. Technically it wasn't my fault, but because of the alcohol consumption, everyone decided to blame it on me.
Because of the alcohol consumption.
Oh no.
He was drunk.
So
Very.
He wasn't drunk.
so you know like
I was forgotten.
so you know like why I like Christmas, but
Why?
like you know the whole family time, the build up to it is nice.
Yep.
I could maybe do without it starting in October,
Yeah.
but I don't mind that it necessarily starts in November. I do think it's the biggest holiday of the year. So you know like why I like it. Maybe not the day itself, obviously. As I said, the day never really lives up to what like Christmas is. So what's your reasons on why you dislike it as a whole, like the time of year?
Shopping.
Commercialization.
One word. Shopping.
Shopping's good.
Despise. No. When it gets closer to the time. So
Yeah.
obviously I understand why they spread it out, because it means it's a lot more accessible for everyone. But as soon as you get closer towards Christmas, the closer you get, the more packed it becomes.
Yeah.
And it just becomes a nightmare. And I am one who doesn't like shopping when it's that level of people, when it's like queues in all scanners are being used, and there's a massive queue, and there's loads of people, just lots of noise, lots of people, lots of hustling, lots of bustling. I just can't live with it. I'm just like, oh, can't be bothered.
Counter suggestion,
Or you can order online, yes I know.
or do your Christmas shopping in summer.
I mean, yeah, but no, I can't be bothered to do that.
Wrap it up 6 months in advance.
I mean, there's no
do it in the
people.
January sales.
Yes.
What, buy it?
Okay, no, that's generally a good idea. Because obviously you save so much money.
What?
January sales-
Are you going to wait till the next year to give him? Or
Yeah.
just like... In my family,
like
we
a-
don't buy presents for Christmas. After Christmas, you get the present.
No, that's generally what we have done in the past, actually.
That's legit.
I like that. That sounds a bit
Yeah,
cool.
because
Good.
instead of buying it when it's at maximum price and like you know everything, like including food as well. So gifts and food, we do after Christmas when it's a January sale start. Because it was like, oh Reuben, so what do you want now? It's like, oh, we'll just do that. It looks cheap. It's good. It's the best time. Let's get that.
Okay, so that's why
Actually,
you don't like
I can get
it.
behind that.
Any other points that I don't like why Christmas is not a good time of year?
The blooming commercialization several months beforehand.
That's true.
The amount of advertisements, the amount of just constant everything is shackled to Christmas. Like, spend some special time with your children this year and buy them an Argos, through the Argos catalogue. Go through the Argos catalogue to buy them your husband a brand new razor blade, an electric razor blade. Buy your daughter a brand new costume. Or hey, well, let's be gender neutral. Buy them a Lego toy set or an Iron Man action figure. Buy your son a Littlest Pet Shop toy, or buy him a Nintendo Switch. It's like, no, I don't want that. stop targeting me. I just want to be with my familia. That's how we do things in this, okay? I will get something nice for my family, like, I don't know, something that actually means something instead of some shenanigans, little bull shenanigans that, just random shenanigans, and give it to my family, because that's what matters, not your constant display of, hey, buy this because we need you to give us money.
Dad, what are you doing? I just bought a new Christmas tree. But Dad, it's only January 1st. Preparing early, I always say.
Yeah, but again, to take it down to more, serious level, I'm not very comfortable with the constant sort of how Christmas has been turned into sort of a money spending thing. It's more about how much you spend on a present and how much you give and who you provide it for, and you have to provide for the extended family and provide for everyone around you, instead of just spending time with people together, which I think should be. But then again, when I was a kid, the presents were the best part.
Yeah, no, because when
as I say, I think it's a thing for kids, not when you get older.
Yeah, because when you're a kid, it's like, oh yeah, it's a perfect, because obviously all the presents and stuff, you just get like, oh yeah, I'll make a Christmas list and I'll be on my best behavior and it's fine.
I think.
And then once you get past the Santa Claus thing, spoilers.
What?
Sorry about that.
When they tell you Santa Claus.
Next, you're gonna spoil who Batman is.
Or Superman.
No, I've not up to that part yet.
Oh, by the way, it's Clark Kent.
No.
Shouting into the microphone.
My ears are bleeding.
But yeah, no. Sorry about that, kids. No, but it's like this. It's just, I don't know. Once you get past the whole initial first years of it, becomes less thing about the presents. And yeah, as I said, it just becomes a part of the family, because once you have all the cool. Obviously, when you grow up, it's like, what do I get now? I could get like being 20 and saying, yes, I got an Optimus Prime for Christmas.
Yeah, boy.
I mean, some people would enjoy that still, I guess,
Yeah.
but not to the same level, not to the same degree.
Yeah.
How do they
And
celebrate
also, it's better to get stuff that's actually practical.
Yeah.
Stop.
Daddy.
Sorry, it's like I'm still on the point where you're like, some people would like an Optimus Prime to 20. I'm like, I guess.
What do you want?
No, there's some
It's kinda
people who do.
weird.
There's some people who like generally buy models and figures and posters.
Body pillows.
Oh no, okay, no, we were making this family friendly. We're not calling that.
That is family friendly to some people.
Oops.
Anyway, go on.
We can talk to a certain society about it.
Let's not. Let's not. But yeah, no. Obviously, some people. But obviously, when you grow older, it becomes the stuff you get bought is more practical. Like when you're a kid, it doesn't matter because you're still at home with your parents, being looked after. Being fed. Everything's pretty much handed to you quite easily. Whereas when you grow up, you start to obviously thinking about going to uni, living away from home, and so the presents become a lot more practical, a lot more applied. The things actually help you out. I know if
I got
hold
you
on.
a hammer and a nail for
That
Christmas.
depends, because some parents think it's a great idea to buy their children like 15 kegs of alcohol to bring to university with them. Remember, we were bringing children in when we were bringing students in on Freshers Week.
Oh my gosh.
And there was this one dude
I
that just,
remember.
like, the dad was just so chirpy. He's like, yep, and here's the beer. Yep. And then
That
don't
was a
forget
heavy
about
box.
That was a heavy box.
That was a heavy box.
Some parents just are okay with that kind of thing, man.
Hashtag better decisions. Is that still something? Is that still something at the union? Because like it was in first year, but like,
It still is
It's
something.
still a thing. We had to do that. We had to go through a little quiz
oh,
about it, actually, didn't we?
because I've kind of like
Wait, which one?
withdrawn
Oh,
from
we
it,
did,
you know?
yeah.
The induction quiz.
Yeah, we had to do
for
it.
induction helpers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to make better decisions.
Yeah, right. Now as a little, I'm gonna bring the
Are you going to
Christmas
destroy the
stuff.
wholesome thing again?
Yeah, when I make it more depressing, like, because we were talking about spending time with family, but
Oh, dear.
at Christmas you do have to see family members who you only see at Christmas for a reason. So,
Man can relate.
cheers,
Man,
cheers for
You must be really lucky to have that kind of family where you can have people you don't want to see, because in my family it's not like that.
At Christmas, I only see like my main family members, like
Exactly.
people who are directly
Your brother, your sister,
Yeah.
Your mother, father.
your mother,
brother,
and
sister.
your father.
That's
That's it. That's all you need to see.
yeah.
Your uncle comes next. Your uncle comes Boxing Day, or later, maybe for New Year's,
Your uncle comes Boxing Day because nobody cares about Boxing Day.
because no one's in the house on Boxing Day because everyone's outside shopping.
Yeah.
Getting them sweet deals.
Sweet, sweet deals.
Oh, I do love them sweet deals. Like afterwards, like all the meats are now like reduced price, and it's brilliant. I find that fantastic.
I love how Reuben's just talking in a food context. We can just tell that Reuben's really
Well, yeah,
just
that's
waiting
that. No,
to eat.
let's see. No, my family is very food focused.
Yeah.
And we love food. We love our food. We love everything about our food.
So
we base like most of Christmas Day. Yeah, the presents are good, but the food is why we're here. We're here for the food. The presents, whatever. The food is what is important.
Wasn't gonna put out a shout out to JP. He's just Snapchat me telling he's listening. So.
Oh, nice. Hello, JP. Hello.
Hey, John Peterson.
My radio show is not a platform for you to expose yourself to.
Hey, J. Paul.
What?
Hey, Jake Paul.
Oh, Jake Paul's back in the news again, by the way.
Who?
Jake Paul.
Huh?
Do you have enough time for that?
No.
I mean, we can. We've gone over time before.
Yeah, we have. We're fine.
I felt we should make time for Jake Paul.
I really wouldn't want to.
Go on.
I really don't like this person. So if you don't know who Jake Paul is, he's a YouTube personality who used to be on Disney. He's a really obnoxious person in my book because he just is obnoxious. But he's back in the news because he made a new music video and it's called Litmus. Kill me.
Nice.
Kill me.
I already regret this conversation.
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel bad
Yes,
for
I
bringing
do.
it up.
Yes, I do. Why do you do this to me, Matt?
Because it's everyday, bro. With the
Oh
radio
God,
show.
stop. Look, we are adults. We are responsible adults.
Plus, there are people listening who are just not going to understand these memes. So
That's what you say, Fritz.
yeah. Oh yeah, we're definitely not.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Right, so there's that. But and again, let's bring it back to Christmas before we end up. So, what finishing notes on Christmas, Matt? What's Christmas to you? What's a perfect Christmas to you?
Going home. There's quite a lot of travelling because I'm going back and forth between my Amber's house quite a lot. But it's like spending time with her family, spending time with my family, seeing my sister and her husband, seeing my brother, playing board games. That's always a pretty big deal.
Yeah, board
Yeah.
games.
Drinking in the evening,
Maybe not.
while playing the board
Fucking hell.
games, then eating loads. And getting some shower gel because like I don't have to buy anything for that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, shower
next year
gel's
to get
good,
like 50
Yeah,
bottles.
boy.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
brilliant.
And you always get like the best brand.
Yeah,
of-
it's really
Linked
nice.
And you're just like,
Africa.
thank you.
No, you always get one Links. You gotta get.
But then
one
you're
Links
afraid to
FX,
use it because you're like, this is expensive.
Links FX.
Nah, I just use it instantaneously, dude. It's
Oh.
like, it's cleansing.
Spray that.
Right,
My-
Reuben.
I-
Okay. Yeah, let's go on.
If I could say what my perfect Christmas would be,
Chicken tendies.
okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, all right, guys. Thank
Sorry.
you. While I'm
Sorry.
speaking.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like traveling during Christmas. I think that's the one time of year I don't like to travel at all. I mean, maybe if I was in a relationship, I would go back and forth between somebody's house, but I would be okay with that. But leaving the country, I'm not too big on during Christmas time. So it'd have to be at home. My Christmases are very just safe, nothing like big about them. Spending time with the family on the day and the build up to it, close family only. None of the extended, because that's more like going to visit them in other countries kind of thing. Yeah, and just it should be the most relaxing time of year when you can just sit back, relax. Don't do anything like super big on the day. I wouldn't go out on the day either. Just time with the family, watch a movie or something, spend time, eat good food.
Yep.
Yeah, Christmas dinner.
Oh, nice.
Right.
My mum can cook a good Christmas dinner.
Nice.
So, that's the main reason for me for Christmas Day. So, yeah, boy.
That does sound good.
So,
Right.
what would be your perfect Christmas, Reuben?
Family, food, fun, and films.
What about memes?
No. No, not on the Christmas day.
Oh, cool.
Christmas memes.
Christmas is a day safe from memes.
Christmas memes are bad. Christmas
But
memes.
also shout out Chloe because JP said she's listening as well. So.
Are you just gonna shout out the entirety of F Block?
if they Snapchat me, then yeah.
Oh dear God.
They say hello.
Adam never got back to me, so I can't say. I don't know.
Sorry, Adam. Sorry, Adam.
Adam's listening.
Anything for that, Reuben? Anything more to add to that? Or?
I mean, yeah, that's it. I would just say spending time with my family, which is most important. It's good. It's fun. Obviously, during Christmas, I do travel a lot around like family. So obviously, I do see extended family, which is, I mean, it's good, but at the same time, I do wish I'd stay at home sometimes. Just chill out at home, relaxing, having home food. But no, yeah, as I said, family, food, fun, and films. because we do watch a lot of films.
Mm.
It's kind of Christmas tradition.
Yeah.
Whatever's on, I just sit there and fall asleep
Oh yeah.
after the food.
After the food.
After
Yeah.
food.
Every year, me and my sister watch Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
My mum just messaged me.
Oh wait, hold on.
No more shout outs. Stop it.
No.
Adam is listening.
Oh.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. No. Nazar, what were you saying?
My mum just messaged me and it said, I can't take my sister to go to America so that she can go marry the Rock, the president of the Rock. Are you sad about that? It'll happen one day, Mum.
Oh dear. Okay. I guess we'll leave that there then. And on that bombshell. Oh god. Yeah. So on that bombshell, probably end.
We
it.
always end on a bombshell.
Well, yeah, we do.
I mean,
We are the new Top Gear. So next
Wow.
week will be our last show for this year. We don't even know
I'm
what.
really sad.
Why? We'll be back in January, won't we? Or February? Well, we'll be back after exams.
January.
Oh dear.
It feels like I've only been on one. That's how quickly it's gone.
Nazar was
that
full of
literally
streak.
killed him.
No, stop.
Oh my God.
So Matt's like a new permanent member.
Well, that's if he's still
Hopefully,
here, because
hopefully.
man travels to Cambridge a lot.
Oh yeah, because I'm not here most weekends. So.
Well, and neither's Reuben, so.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But we hope that you enjoyed listening. We'll be back next week. Maybe a bit of a more Christmas specially so episode.
Yeah,
we'll
it's
go
going to be
through
a
the year.
musical. We
No, we're not
confirmed
doing
it.
musicals. If
We're
you're doing
not doing-
musicals, I'm
We're not
going
doing
on strike.
We're not doing musicals unless Reuben rants.
Oh, one
It's the
second.
music.
We didn't get a Reuben rant.
Go on, Reuben. 30 seconds. Rant about something.
Rant about musicals.
Rant about.
Musicals overrated.
That's not a rant. That's
that
a
it?
statement.
Yep. Yep.
And on that delicious cookie dough,
Oh no.
we'll be back next week. I hope you enjoyed listening. Sorry if we didn't cover a story that you particularly wanted to hear about. Again, do tweet at us at the tweet wall using hashtag LCRTTalk if you want us to bring a topic for next week's episode. So thank you to Nezar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to Reuben.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you to our good old-fashioned Matt Pad over here.
Ta.
And from myself as well, we will see you next week. Tea Time Talk over and out.